Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Vanissia. This is the Woolly Worker Knitting Podcast, and today I just wanted to chat with you guys after attending the Tangled Galashiels festival just last week. I hope that you enjoyed the little montage of my day. I was trying to vlog as best as I could. It's still something that I don't feel 100% confident with, or I'm not used to doing it, but I thought I'd still do it to try and keep the skills, I guess, in use. But yeah, and then I was also trying to film this little outro thing afterwards, but I was so tired. I was so exhausted from the day, and it had been a really hot day as well. So I just pretty much we came home at like 5-6 p.m. and just kind of slept, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm filming now a few days later, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty. I don't think this video is going to be huge because first of all, I don't have many yarny acquisitions, and second of all, because yeah, I worry that I won't have much content per se to talk about, but I still thought it was worth catching up with you guys, and also to demonstrate the contents of a box that you may know about if you watched my previous video, which was the podcast actually, because I'm planning to release this after the podcast. So yeah, I'll try to remember what the day was. We went on the Saturday, so the festival was from Friday to Saturday. We didn't mind going on the second day. It's not a huge festival. The first iteration of it was last year, which I actually also vlogged. You can watch that there as well. But then we went here for their second edition. I think it's a huge success. The vendors seem to really appreciate it and do really well, and the locals obviously also really like it because there's just so much more footfall in the high streets, in Galashiels, in the borders, in Scotland, and so yeah, I think they'll probably be coming again the year after. So went on Saturday. It was from I think 10 to 5 p.m. or 10 to 4. So we arrived at around 11. We just had a little stroll around the town centre. You may have seen in the footage, we went to the little market that they were hosting. We saw someone selling ceramics and we were really tempted, but we're trying to save money at the moment. And we also went to a few of the shops on the high street, got some sausage rolls for Ross, went to a few charity shops. One of them was actually doing a silent auction for a spinning wheel, which was really fun. I had never seen a silent auction taking place in a charity shop like that. But yeah, the bidding started I think at over 200. I have no idea what kind of price it's going to go for in the end. I didn't participate. But yeah, then we went in the shop, or I mean in the festival. There were 3 different venues. There was one with all the marketplace for all the sellers, and then there were a couple that were like exhibitions. One of them was selling fleece, if I recall correctly. I actually didn't even end up checking out the other 2 venues. It was really hot that day, and I guess I was still kind of, the Woolly Good Gathering wasn't that long ago, so I was a bit festivaled out, and I didn't want to spend a whole day just like looking at new things and new merchandise and just be overwhelmed. I still ended up feeling a little overwhelmed. I think nothing wrong with the organizers or the venue or anything. It was just literally a consequence of just having, yeah, like just many people on the marketplace in a small venue, in the hot weather. So yeah, but that was still really enjoyable, and I was happy to see a lot of vendors that I already knew. I actually spent a lot of time in stalls that I hadn't checked out before, even though their names were familiar, and I'll talk about that in my acquisitions in a bit. I met with a couple of friends. There was Aude from Bubbles and Berries, Melinda from Zakami, and I think a couple of other people, but yeah, not all my friends were there, so I hope to see them at other yarn festivals, although I don't know if I'm going to go to the last 2 in Scotland. There's going to be the Perth Festival of Yarn in September, I think, and then the Glasgow School of Yarn probably in November. I think I might just go to one of them because I've been really making less and less purchases at the festivals, and it's starting to look like there might not be that much of a point to attend all of them, although I really do enjoy the socializing aspect. But yeah, I don't know if I'll go to both of them in winter. So yeah, I actually exchanged some yarn with Aude. So Aude was messaged me a few weeks ago saying, you know, oh, I had this yarn from the Woolly Good Gathering Kickstarter, and it's not my color, but I think it's yours. Do you want it? And I thought that was really kind of her to offer. I was so overjoyed because I really did like that color. She's right, it is my color. And I thought I would offer her some of my stash in exchange. So I looked at my stash and I saw some yarn that I had actually bought at Tangled Galashiels last year. I'll put a photo here, and I said to Aude, would you want this in exchange? And she was like, oh yeah, like that sounds like my color palette, so yeah, thank you. So then I brought it to her, and she brought hers to me, and we exchanged that. So technically that is the only yarn that I came back with that I didn't already have in my stash. It was more of a trade than a purchase. So you may have seen this already going about on YouTube. I think a lot of people that attended the Woolly Good Gathering received this in the Kickstarter, and now it's finally in my possession. So this is the color Sea Glass, I think, from Iolair yarn. It was dyed exclusively for the Woolly Good Gathering, and it's a very interesting blend of non-superwash merino, 50%, and 50% silk. So that's really exciting, and it obviously feels amazing. It's really, really shiny, really soft. It's not like super floppy because it still has the strength of the merino, so it's not like the alpaca silk cashmere, which is very, very loose. This is really good, and it's 400 meters for 100 grams. And yeah, I have a skein of yarn from this dyer that I also bought last year at Tangled Galashiels, which was 50-50 yak and silk, and I actually still don't really know what to do with that because it's just such a precious blend. Iolair is known for having those fancy and therefore a bit pricey yarn blends, and she dyes really beautiful colors. So really excited to have this. This is definitely like a t-shirt quantity. If not, I could also do another slightly sassy V-neck that you'll have seen in the podcast, or I could do a cozy classic light again. This is really, really great, and I hope to maybe aim to do something with that before next summer, and maybe I could wear that to the next Tangled Galashiels. I think I really want to go again because it's just like an hour drive away from where we are, and every time we go it's such good weather, so I'm hoping to make a bit of a tradition of it. So yeah, thank you Aude for giving me this, and I hope that you like what I gave you too. And thank you for thinking of me when you received it. Okay, then the things that I actually did purchase. I went to the Ginger Twist Studio booth. I really, really like everything that they have. They have really nice yarn blends and really bright colors, which the colors aren't necessarily my cup of tea. But what I really like about their stalls is that they also bring so many other non-yarny things from their shop in Edinburgh. So they brought, for example, all the Pigeon Wishes buttons. They have a lot of books that they bring, and just like so many little notions. And something that I saw, which I never once, like, I didn't go there with the intention of buying this, but I saw it on their table, and I've been actually looking for that, or thinking in my head that I wanted it. And it's a tape measure. So we've got this little llama alpaca guy, and it's a tape measure that you can get out like that, and then it stays there. Then if you press on it, it can go back in. So that's really cool. It really will be portable, and it's really good for just measuring like 4 inches of ribbing, for example. Like I don't know if it would be that precise and sturdy for things like the entire length of the sweater, although I don't see why it wouldn't. But I think that will be really great for just like small little things when I'm out and about, if I'm making a sock or something. And it's just really nice to have it in a compact little guy. Yeah, I really wanted to add this to my collection of things, so that was nice to find that in person. They had 2 different colors, or like 2 different motifs, and Ross helped me pick this one because I was really indecisive. We got a little guide when we entered. Oh, and yeah, they've actually already booked the next dates, so 30th and 31st of May 2025, so that won't even be June. And then, yeah, the little leaflet talks about all the vendors with their websites as well. There was a winding station if you had just bought a new skein of yarn and you didn't have a winder at home and you wanted to have people wind it up for you, and then the funds would go to charity. There was a special pattern that was designed for the festival. It was a shawl, and there's a little discount code here for one of the vendors, or like one of the a bakery that was nearby. So if you had your wristband, you could go and get a discount for your treats, which is really cool. And yeah, just a lot of neat information in that. That was just free as well, so really great to have this as part of your entrance. And then the second thing that I purchased, I also was not expecting that. There was a stall from Woolly Originals, and what caught my eye was her project bags. So they were project bags, I think I put a clip in it, I'll put it again, when they were very striking color work in like 2 colors, usually like white and a contrast. And she said that they were machine knitted by herself. So that was already very impressive, and I was thinking, I do like project bags. I have quite a lot of them at this point, and some of the ones she had were kind of like small to medium size, whereas I think what I would like to have more of are like big bags. So I wasn't gonna buy one, but then she said, oh, and also they're machine knitted, but I dye the wool myself with natural dyes. And I thought that was really great. And so she started talking about all of the different products that she was using. So she was talking about like the madder for the red, indigo for blue, maybe marigold for yellow, a bunch of other things. Like she had very, very vivid colors. And then we started talking about natural dyeing, and then I said that I actually did a acid dye workshop at the Woolly Good Gathering. I know she was giving out the natural dye talk, so I said that I could only pick one of them, otherwise I would have attended hers as well. And she said, well, actually, if you want, I'm also selling little books of what was talked about in that talk. And I was like, oh, really? And then she started opening it, and she was covering all the sections. Like there's like introductions, the foraging, the equipment that you need, the dyeing process, the ratios, and then she also gives you a good list of wholesale to get your undyed wool, and then she gives you a big list of readings that you can do on your own and like further resources, which I think is really good. And honestly, to be perfectly honest, the thing that sold me was when she was showing and demonstrating the kind of notebook thing. She said there's like a right-handed version and a left-handed version, and the left-handed version has the like you have a place to write your own notes, and she's got this one on the left-hand side, and then the right-handed version was obviously like the other way around. And I'm left-handed, and I said to her, like, oh my god, I'm left-handed, like, that's amazing that you thought of that. She said that her son was left-handed, so she just, like, always knows in life to think about that for people to make their life easier, and I thought that that was just so thoughtful. I don't know if this would count, per se, as, like, an accessibility need or anything, but it's just really nice sometimes that, the world usually works in like a cookie cutter type of way, and if you're ever so slightly different from that mold, you know, like everybody's different, of course, and so everybody will have encountered at one point something that doesn't quite fit their needs, or like their needs aren't met, but then here it was. So I thought that that was really lovely, and the lady was so lovely. I don't remember her name, but yeah, she said if I start doing it, to send her photos, because she would really like to see me dye the yarn, and she does foraging sessions in Edinburgh. She was saying, like, she was naming a few places that I've been to, so it was just like, oh, we could maybe like meet up and forage together and get our plants and roots. And Ross is definitely up for the adventure. I think he would like to go with me and forage. She said that to natural dye you can use fresh plants and materials, or you can also dry them, and if you dry them they're more concentrated and you need less of them. So I thought maybe this summer Ross and I could try and start foraging and maybe dry things to be used later. I don't think I'm going to be dyeing in this summer, we're too busy, but I was so happy to have found sort of maybe, you know, a new hobby, maybe like the beginnings of a new hobby that's not spinning or sewing, and it's just yarn dyeing. Joe, my friend, who's also here on YouTube, has started acid dyeing at home, and she seems to be having a blast, and she also had this big research element of having to find all the equipment and the research, and yeah, I'm glad to have a basis, a starting point. So that's honestly, that was the highlights of the purchases. I'm really happy that I got this. I wasn't expecting that at all. And then lastly, something very exciting. So Claire from Cookston Crafts messaged me on Instagram sometime before the festival, and she asked if I was coming, and I said yes, and she said, oh, would you be interested in getting a one of my treat boxes to give away in a giveaway? And I was like, of course, yeah, that would be amazing. So I'll see you there. So I met her at the festival, and she was really lovely. She was wearing a beautiful like statement green dress that was really great, and she was actually dyeing some yarn, or she had some yarn that was the exact same color. It's like the color of the summer. So if you watched my last podcast episode, yeah, I've done the giveaway, and yeah, it was a surprise, so you don't know what's in the treat box, but I thought that I would show the contents of it in this video, so that, you know, obviously then if you didn't get it, you know what's in it. And yeah, if you're interested in her treat boxes, they're on her website. I think that they're monthly, and she basically dyes a skein of yarn inspired by a photo or a theme or a season, and then she also then gets a lot of little treats and products from local businesses, which I think is really great, and then she packages it in a really nice way. So I've never gotten one of these myself. I've been tempted a few times. It is, you know, it is what it is. It is a treat box where, sure, you could go and source those items yourself, but you're kind of paying for someone to curate the box for you, and she has really good taste. So yeah, thank you, Claire, for gifting this box to one of the viewers, and for doing a really great job at curating those boxes. So I'll show you what the box looks like. It's just some cardboard with a little sticker. So this one here is inspired by ficus. A beautiful plate of figs inspired the yarn this month. I chose to call this colorway ficus as it's the Latin name for fig, and I already have a colorway of that name. So here's just a little sheet of what inspired her to do this little box. And she describes what the treats are. So I'm really sorry I've opened the little sticker, so whoever receives this, yeah, sorry that it's open. So I'll show you the other items first, and then I'll show the yarn last. So the other items, we have a beautiful little essential oil hydrating lotion. So you've got lemon, it's a lemon lotion basically. And yeah, it's a little glass jar. It's really nice and compact, and that looks really great. Oh, and it smells really good and lemony. Then there's some washi tape here with a ruler, a pencil. It kind of looks like craft supplies washi tape. I used to really be into journaling and pens and washi tape and everything, so that would have made me very happy at the time. And then a little box of pencils that actually look really nicely color coordinated to figs. And they've got some little writings on them like cast off your worries, one stitch at a time. And that's really nice. I'm gonna say that about every item. That's really nice. Little box of lemonade, which has been bubble wrapped. That's also quite nice to maybe discover a new flavor. This is passion fruit, and obviously it goes really well with the fruity theme of this box. And then some Scottish tablets from an Aberdeen baker, the Scottish Farmhouse, home baking. I really like Scottish tablets. They're really good and tasty, but they're really sweet. And of course, last but not least, then the wool. So this is the skein of the month, and this is the colorway ficus, and you get 425 meters for 100 grams, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. I hope that the camera picks up on all the beautiful speckles. This looks really great. It's kind of like a medium purple with little hints of speckles and lighter shades of lilac and a little bit of pink and red. It's really gorgeous. Yeah, I think that would actually also be right up my alley. Maybe I would make a little scarf with that and hold it with a purple sari. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little unboxing. I've never done this on camera before, and I'm not sure I was the best host for that, but I really wanted to show this box before I send it off, and thank you for participating in the giveaway if you did. This is really weird filming this in advance. I thought I would like not mention it, but yeah, I would get myself confused with the times. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this little summary of the day and heard me talk about my purchases and how I experienced the day. It was really great. I'm glad I went there. I'm glad I spent that quality time with Ross. It just felt like a nice little adventure that was on the yarn side, but not too yarny that he couldn't enjoy it. And it was nice for him as well to chat to people there on the day, and we had a really good time. And I also talked to a few of you, so that was great too. And hi again if you chatted to me. Hope that you enjoyed the most recent podcast episode. If you haven't checked it out, then of course I would recommend that you go check it out. But yeah, I hope that you're doing well wherever you are. Subscribe to me if you haven't already, like this video, comment, all the good stuff, and I hope to catch up with you guys soon for another video. Not quite sure what I've got planned yet for summer, but I hope that there'll be some interesting things for you to watch while you're relaxing and knitting this summer. Take really good care of yourselves, guys. Happy knitting, and see you all next time. Bye!